coming to you live from Tennessee, from the east to the west. We are talking Cowboys everything. And you just entered
the Cowboy Zone.
Welcome back to another episode of the Cowboy Zone. I'm Marcus Jones, the Bluff City Cowboy, coming to you from Memphis, Tennessee.
And this is Lambo from Johnson City, Tennessee, with from Cowboys, y'all. What is
All
going on,
guys? Hey, man, I'm doing good today. Well, I'm doing as good as I can be after Sunday's game.
Yeah, I'm just glad we decided to do our shows a couple days after and not like right after, because like if it was a post-game show or a next day show, I would still be a little too heated to really discuss it.
Exactly. And big ups to Star Gang and Late Night Hype.
Yeah, all
and, Jay Tuck. I commend you guys for going live during the game and post-game. I can't do it. I'm not strong enough yet.
Yeah, I can't either. I don't know how y'all have this the resolve to this. I don't know, man. Like it would just take one troll to set me off and make myself look like a fool on this live, because I would start going off. I get too offensive, and man, when it comes to this team, especially in a loss like that, I don't care if the Browns got talent or not. It's still the Browns.
Exactly.
They've always been the Browns. They'll end the season as the Browns, and we lost to the Browns, and so it's going to make me mad either way.
And I see we got people coming in. Brian, Beard Gang in the building from New Jersey. What's up? Jacob Reynolds, thank you for joining us as well. Is that a new name, Lambo? I don't know.
I don't recognize that from previous shows.
Okay.
It might have been on there. I don't recognize it. Thanks for tuning in, Jacob.
Yeah, for sure. If you're a new viewer, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your support. Make sure you keep giving us good comments, because we got a lot to talk about, and we love you guys' comments.
Yeah, for sure.
Jeff, thank you for joining us straight off of the Block Party ATL chat. I know you were on there for about an hour talking, so I know you're probably worn out like I am. So I appreciate you coming and joining us as well. All right, so as much as I hate to do this, we have to do a game recap from Sunday's game. Now, Mendoza, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your support as well. I know it's a lot of stuff going on tonight, including the debate and some other guys going live. So again, thank you for joining us. Rosie, thank you for joining as well. Like I said, now we got to do a game recap. So let's try to start with the positives, Lambo. And let's try to limit the negatives to 3, because I know you probably got about 20 on top of your head that you can go through. But
yeah,
we like to keep this an hour show, and we could talk an hour about the negatives. But so we'll just try to limit it to 3 so we can get to talking about these Giants coming up. So in terms of positives, one positive that I have to talk about, everybody's bold prediction, CeeDee Lamb got his first touchdown.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns. And I think that was somebody's bold prediction. I don't know if it was. I think that's been yours every week, hasn't it, Lambo?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Right.
I'm like, he's going to get one this week or this week.
Sure. So
my bold was Trayvon Diggs was going to get an interception or a pick 6, but maybe next week, maybe this week. This will be the week.
So Lamb did his thing. Another big game from him. The offense looked well at the beginning of the game, and that probably leads into one of my negatives. So I saved that for another moment. Also, Knight played well when they finally brought him in. That was another positive.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
It looked rough. What do we have? 2 sacks and 3 drives with the other guy. I won't even bring his name up anymore. So, Brian, I'm definitely getting into that when I get to my negatives. Thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, I remember when we talked about it, I was kind of like, when we talked about it last week before the game, the show before the game, I was saying, I wanted Brandon Knight to start at right tackle, and I'm pretty sure we both did, and obviously that didn't happen, and it cost us heavily. So at least they made the switch, but it's a little too late.
Right. And keeping the offensive line thing, Tyler B got his first start, and he looked awesome. He was running downfield. He was laying guys out. He was holding the position one-on-one. He played a great game considering it was his first game. I don't know. Lambo, did you get a chance to kind of key in on him? I'm an offensive line guy, so I always watch offensive line first. So I may have probably watched it a little bit more than you did.
Yeah, you probably watched him more than me.
Did anything about him stand out to you?
Just holding his own strength, not getting pushed around. I didn't key on him a ton. I kind of tend to favor looking at the skill guys, but anytime I really did try to focus down there, it just seemed like he wasn't, missing any type of assignments and no mental errors that a rookie would have, especially a 4th-round rookie. Just seems like he's really jumped right into the role with not many issues. And we talked about how he should have been starting the game. It shouldn't have took a Looney injury for him to be in there, in my opinion.
Exactly.
But he's in there now, and maybe this time he's there for good because he looks great.
He looked great, yeah. And
So,
you can see the difference in athleticism because he got downfield a lot more on blocks than a Looney would.
Yeah.
Another positive, I see the guys have kind of been hitting this one in the comments. We finally saw Donovan Wilson.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I was happy to see it.
I was. He missed a few tackles, but that's going to happen. I mean, it's his first time getting in some NFL action, real season NFL action. So, he seemed like he hustled, though. I seen him around the ball a lot when he was in.
Exactly. What's up, Taiwan? I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks, so we appreciate you coming back in. Mark Cantor, thank you for joining us as well. We appreciate your support as always. I think that's pretty much all the positives I can kind of go through off the top of my head. It wasn't a lot.
Yeah. There's Tyron, like you said, Tyron Smith played well. That was good. Well. So I was happy to see that. I was hoping, we don't want to see him come in there and struggle. So it was nice to see him play well. And like you said, Brandon Knight, Biotish, mainly just, but
seeing new guys.
Dak was Dak. Obviously, I'm not going to put that game on him like some of the fan base is.
Yeah.
Without Dak, I don't think we ever would have touched within 3 near the end of that game. So.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go into a couple of these negatives because I see everybody's starting to kind of hit on them. The first one that nobody's really talked about in the comments yet is turnovers. We had another multiple turnover game. I think we're leading the league in turnovers, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. We're also leading the league in average points scored against us per game. We're the worst in the NFL in points given up per game. It's stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, and Mendoza and Jeff point out another positive with Schultz playing well. We got to do something about this because Zeke's fumbled, 3 times in 4 games and lost 2 of them?
Yeah, that's it. Like, running the ball is supposed to be safer, but we're passing the ball like 3 times as much as running it, and we're averaging more turnovers running the ball than we are throwing the ball. So that's not Zeke-like, and I don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah, that's a big issue, and we got to get that fixed, especially when our defense, like you just gave the stat, they're giving up points left and right off turnovers. So we have to minimize that. And that kind of leads into my next question, and I want you guys to comment on this as well. Do you think we possibly see more Tony Pollard or Rico Dowdle, who's our 3rd running back that nobody really talks about? Do you think we see more of them in the backfield because of Zeke's fumbling issues lately?
I don't think we'll see any Rico Dowdle without an injury to one of the top 2 dudes, but I do think that we could see a few more touches Pollard's way going forward. Not many, but add an extra 3 touches a game on offense, something like that. But I don't think it'll be enough to really not a noticeable too much of a noticeable difference, but I do think he gets a slight uptick.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see Dowdle though.
Okay. All right. I think we might.
You do?
I just have a feeling. If we see one more fumble from Zeke within the next 3 games, I think this backfield can get real interesting. Because that's something you cannot accept. Like you said, you don't expect your running back to fumble the ball. And when he's fumbled it 3 times in 4 games, at some point you got to start making some moves because those are killers. I don't care if he is the best back in the league. If you turn the ball over once a game, you got to go with lesser talent that's a little bit more secure with the ball. Not saying he's going to get phased out of the offense completely.
Yeah.
I can definitely see more of the other guys getting a shot.
It'd be interesting.
Yep. So now, and like Taiwan says, he always starts off slow. And on top of that, they haven't been giving him a chance to really get into a rhythm. We've been seeing a lot of runs on first down and all that, but they don't really give him the ball, running the ball as much as they should to me. And I feel like with a running back like Zeke, he has to feel the ball to get that rhythm. So hopefully more volume will lead to less turnovers. I know that's kind of contradictory, but I think that may be more of the problem as well. He needs to get going often in the game. And like Jeff said, we would all love to see Pollard get more touches, just not on kick return. But we definitely need to see him be more involved in this offense. So now another negative that I got to talk about, and I think I got to go back to what I'm saving Brian's comment for my next negative. And late game adjustments, not even late game, multiple game adjustments. We did finally see Donovan Wilson play, which is great. But why do they keep letting Steele start? I mean, the guy came in and killed the drive and then created a turnover. And we have to see that before we see Knight go into the game. That doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me either. I really don't understand it all. I really thought we was going to see Knight start the game at right tackle. Yeah. I mean, he's as well as he played at left tackle. I thought there was no doubt in my mind that they was just going to let him start at right tackle.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know why it took seeing that to make the change. Yep. The same reason I don't know why Biotish wasn't starting at center right off the bat this game, and I guess the same reason I'm still wondering why Connor Williams is our starting left guard.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I know one thing.
Great.
You can bet your tail that Knight is starting to right tackle this game. Or if he's not, man, like I don't even know what to say.
I don't put anything past his coaching staff at this point.
I can't even take him serious if Knight ain't starting at right tackle this game, man.
Yeah, and Taiwan said we need to see a fullback. Even if we don't see a fullback, if you think about what Cleveland did, they ran a lot of too tight, and they put their tight end in the backfield like an H-back. Even if we saw more of that would help in the running game more.
Yeah, and I guess in that case, I know Dalton Schultz is kind of bumped up to the starting tight end role when he was going to be filling that H-back role. But with him in the starting role, I guess they would still use him in the H-back and it's still Blake Bell.
I guess so.
When they run that.
Well, Blake Bell's the better blocker anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah. And like the Queen of Stargame says, you're right, gross negligence. And Brian, I said this last week as well on the pregame show, if you guys remember. I think the reason they did it was because they don't want to rock the boat, and the young guy didn't play terrible, so they want to keep giving him that experience. And I could maybe see that logic, but at the end of the day, you're not playing against the scrubs we played against the first 3 weeks. You're playing against Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett has a sack a game, and he's a legitimate $20 million guy who makes it happen on the field. You put your best out there for him, especially when you know he's going to line up against the right tackle the whole game.
Which is why I wasn't upset with Dak on that fumble like some of the fan base was, because I really didn't like. All right, first of all, we're running a play that's going to take a while to develop downfield. and the coaching is going to leave Steele one-on-one with Myles Garrett. No one to chip, no one next to him to help, like nothing. And then expect Dak to be able to sit in the pocket and let that play develop.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to blame that on him because when he stripped the ball, he wasn't coming from directly on his side. He was coming from kind of behind him, and he was mid-throw. So it's hard for me to put that on him, man. I think that's a coaching error right there.
Now, I got to push back on you this one a little bit because I love Dak, and I don't critique him much. The only critique I have on Dak is his pocket awareness. Now, to me, you're right. That's a long developing play.
Yeah.
But to me, as a quarterback, if you know the play is going to take 4 seconds, you don't have to lock downfield the whole 4 seconds.
Right.
Especially when you know that the guy on the right side is a beast
Mm-hmm.
and the tackle is somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience. So for me, and this is just a critique that I have, one few I have with Dak. Those first 1 or 2 seconds, you find where that guy is before you make your looks downfield. If he's not in your vision, you find him and you step to where he's not. So to me, when he ran around him, he should have said, "I don't see that brown in my peripheral. I need to step up to where he's not, and then look downfield." And again, that's just me nitpicking that.
It's a good point. You do got to have the awareness to know, okay, I got Steele over here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell him to his face he's hot trash, but in my brain, in my smart brain here, I know that Myles Garrett is going to beat him 9 out of 10 times probably.
Exactly. And if you go back and watch the Kansas City game, like on Monday, when you watch Patrick Mahomes, they're faking it right, they're faking it left, he's faking a handoff, and he always looks around to see where the defenders are, and he'll step up or slide to find an open space to throw his ball. That's one of the things I wish Dak would develop in this game. If he did, he'd be right there with Mahomes to me.
Yeah, he's slowly getting there. So I'll give you that one. That makes good sense, and I will back off on that one and go with what you said. You've turned my stance on that, but I will hold my stance on that interception not being his fault. Mari gave up completely on that route.
100%. 100%.
It was kind of like Romo-esque timing, and he started getting heat right away. But you could tell as soon as you rewatch that Mari just let up and wasn't even looking, man, for it. Like,
I mean, if you look at that play, if he just runs with effort, that's illegal contact.
Yeah.
Because he's going to hit the guy before the ball gets there. That's illegal contact or PI 10 times out of 10. He just stopped and watched the guy get in front of him. That was not the best throw, but if you go back and watch the play, Myles Garrett was right in his face, so he kind of rushed.
Yeah.
But you got to help your quarterback out.
Yeah.
Run through the play. They can't hit you. It's 2020. They're not going to lay you out.
The worst part about it is Amari had such a great game.
Yeah.
To have such a good game and then have such a big error right there in a key moment, like just like threw it all away. He had such a great game, and then that's the only thing I can remember about that game now. When I think about him is the fact that he didn't finish through right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, no effort. That's a recurring theme for a lot of the team right now. It seems like on defensive side of the ball.
So now that you mentioned it, and thank you, Brian. I see you reminded me, so I bring your previous comment up. Xavier Woods made a comment to the media today saying you can't expect a guy to go full speed 100% of the time on 70 snaps. Lambo, you want to give your thoughts on that one first? Or you want me to go?
Yeah, I seen that too. I shared about it. I shared. All I could do is share with the face palm emoji.
Jake Meeker, thank you for joining us as well.
You're an NFL football player. Yeah, he said that, Jack. He said that. He said you can't expect him to be able to go 100% 70 snaps a game. That it's just not possible.
Exactly.
How do you like? I can't get words out for it. That explains like what we're dealing with right now.
First of all, nobody plays 100% of the snaps. So
Yeah.
70 snaps is total snaps. Even if you played 80%, which is probably about what he played, that's 50 snaps. They're not throwing the ball at you 50 times. So you just haul ass and run wherever the ball is 50 times.
Yeah. And if you're our starting safety and you ain't got the stamina to play to go 100% 70 snaps, like you don't need to be our starting safety.
Exactly.
Like this, I don't know. It's mind-boggling. You won't hear any elite safety say something like that. So that just blew me away.
And my guy Jeff on the last comment in the last podcast said that's almost a cuttable comment because you're pretty much admitting you don't give 100% effort. As an NFL player, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
You only have 3 jobs as an NFL player. 1 is to give effort, 2 is to know the plays, and 3 is to have good technique. You've already told us you don't do one of the 3 things that you're supposed to do. How can we even trust you as a player when we know you're not giving 100% effort every play? And I understand you get tired sometimes, but you can still give 100% when you're tired.
Yeah.
He's a defensive back. Those guys' jobs are to run and have endurance and speed. It's not like we're talking about Dontari Poe.
He was, yeah, I don't even get started on him either.
Right, but
But yeah,
if he said that, I'd be like, okay, I wouldn't accept it, but I could see a fat, lazy guy saying that. You're a defensive back, and you're telling me you're not running to the play every time, and the tape showed it, so he can't run away from it.
I'm curious. I would be really curious to hear what some of the other guys in the locker room had to say about that.
Right.
I'm sure they wouldn't publicly say anything, but I'm curious if anybody came to him and was just like, "Bro, don't be putting words in my mouth. I'm going 100%."
Well,
Like,
the tape, if you watch the tape, it looks like they're agreeing with him from the tape.
that's true.
So that was a lot of lackadaisical effort.
Jalen,
Yeah.
goodness, man.
Woods too.
You know that it really sucks that Alden couldn't get to OBJ on that reverse. He almost had him, but I mean, he still took him 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Right.
He made a great push to make that happen. And then where was everybody else at? You're telling me Alden Smith gets him 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage and not one person was there to clean up? Nowhere near. Like, that's a problem. And then you look at Jalen Smith, he had already stopped.
He had already stopped.
He was walking. If he's not walking, he probably can get over there to get that tackle easily.
Right. Easily. Joe Thomas made it over there.
Yeah.
He overran the play, but he got there before Beckham did.
Even after walking for about 3 seconds, Jalen still got to within touch of him. So he definitely could have got there to stop him.
Yep.
And the stuff like that, man, it's ridiculous. I can't remember who it was. Was it Daniel Jeremiah, I think, or somebody?
Everybody.
He said it looked like he was running with
the
yeah. Everybody.
Yeah.
They said it looked like he was running with the refrigerator on his back.
Yep.
Exactly. Don't get me wrong. I'm not attacking his character as far as a person. He's a great guy. He's got a great story, and I like Jalen. He's a very likable person.
We can't keep pushing that storyline.
But yeah, at some point you're an NFL football player.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, we're great people too. You want to give us a contract and put us on the field? Exactly. So I mean, he's got to improve, man. He's got to improve, and we need LVE back in a bad way. Sean Lee too. It would really help to have Sean Lee back.
And as soon as you say that, Jack Meeker comes with this comment about LV has a few weeks to hit the field, but don't let Jalen set the defense.
Yeah. Now, LVE was actually playing below average before his injury too, which kind of worried me, but that could be with the lack of preseason and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he was only in a half too. So
yeah, so we didn't really get that much to look at him, but I'm sure. I just hope when he comes back, he's able to finish the season. There's reasons to be optimistic. The defense has been horrible. But we have some key pieces coming back soon. And if you think about it, we don't need to be great on defense. We just need to be average.
Average, exactly.
If we can be average, the offense can score at will just about. So if we just be average on defense, we could have a Super Bowl caliber team.
Definitely.
Maybe Randy Gregory can help with that. LVE, Sean Lee, Awuzie, Brown, those are key pieces we need.
They are for sure. And Brian leads into my last negative. I don't know if you guys saw this, but on YouTube, I created a video called Game Day Nerd Notes. And I'm going to try to do that every week. So make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm at 74 subscribers. Once I get to 100, I can finally change my name so you guys can just Google Bluff City Cowboys YouTube and it'll pop right up. But you got something to say, Lambo?
Yeah, that means Jeff got his bold prediction right that you would hit 70 subscribers.
He did. You're right, Jeff. Appreciate the support, Jeff, as always. But on top of that, I made this video, and this is without me doing any prior looking. I just noticed in the game that they average 7 yards a carry. So I decided to pull up every clip that a running back ran over 9 yards without any preconceived notions or remembering what happened during the game. There were 11 runs of over 9 yards. On 10 of those runs, it was because of lack of contain by Everson Griffin. I know a couple of you guys have seen the video. It's embarrassing how he was getting blocked by tight ends.
I was about to say.
Going back to what Jeff Kavanaugh said a couple weeks ago with his effort, you can't blame that on I don't know the scheme or I'm getting my legs under me. A tight end blocked you. That's unacceptable. You get washed out of plays. You overrun plays playing hero ball. Those are what are you doing with that?
How did he fall off so fast? He wasn't this bad last year.
It's effort. It's 100% effort. The playbook, like I said, technique, effort, and knowing the plays. Clearly, to do that, he doesn't know the plays, and he's not giving effort.
I think he's got 1 foot in retirement on his mind.
Yeah.
Sometimes these veterans at the very end, they did, like, not all, but it seems like some of them, they're like, let me just get this last quick paycheck.
Right. And
I already got my mindset. I'm done. I'm about done.
I see my pastor just joined the comments, so I say, well, I would like to put that other foot. But back to what Brian put on the screen. The comments about Jalen gave effort. I haven't played football in 20 years. I'm not a coach. I can pull up the game film, and any of you guys can pull up the game film that are watching right now. You can pull up any 5 random plays on defense, and you can see the lack of effort from Jalen and the rest of those guys.
Yeah, any play, just about any. Just pick some random ones. Just
exactly.
Click and watch.
How can the coaches come out with a straight face as NFL coaches and say we saw effort in the film room? Like Mendoza says, what's going on? What are they doing on Mondays? How can you not look at 11 plays, every play of 9 yards plus, Everson Griffin screwed up? How can you look at that and say, you know what? I'm gonna see you as the starter next week? No.
He looks.
And I can give effort and play contain.
Like he looks so bad that I want to see his snaps decrease a lot.
Yeah,
that's how bad he looks.
I mean, we got the $9 million guy in Tyrone Crawford, who's supposed to be a great run defender, but I won't get into that one. I spoke my piece in the offseason. I'm moving on from that.
Man, we've touched on that so many times, and we talked about that in the offseason. Like you said, we talked about the pieces that we could use that money for.
Yeah,
and we didn't use it, and now we got we're struggling stopping the run, and then you got Snacks sitting on the street, and then now what happens? Seattle puts them on their practice squad. So you're telling me they got a guy on their practice squad that's better than who we got in the game starting?
Yep.
That makes me feel real bad.
So I got in a Twitter beef with somebody, which I try not to do, but I got sucked in on this one. And before he signed the practice squad, I said, why don't we bring him in to our practice squad? He wants to be here. Pay the $12,000 a week. Let him get in the playbook. Let's see what he has. And people argue me up and down. Oh, a player of his caliber would never play on the practice squad. And the
Bro,
next day, he's in Seattle on the practice squad.
he lives in DFW, like in the same neighborhood as D-Law.
Exactly.
Like he's there, man. Like he can make a short trip right down the road to the Star.
Yeah. Now, I say that to say this. Seattle just got snacks for $12,000 a week. Think about that. $12,000 a week for an NFL player that we think could help us. The problem isn't money, because people keep saying, oh, we're saving money for Dak. He's making $12,000 a week. The problem isn't money. The problem is either pride or stupidity. Someone does not want to admit the mistakes that they made with Dontari Poe and Everson Griffin, or they're just stupid and they don't see that we need the help. It's one of the two. Because when Snack signs with Seattle for $12,000, money's out the door. I after I saw that, I just happened to take a look down the practice squad of some other players, other teams. Like Brian said, Cameron Wake is out there. Demarius Randall is on somebody's practice squad. He can help us out. We could have paid him $12,000 a week to come here and see what he was made of. It bothers me.
Yeah, it definitely bothers me. Like, and every game so far, when I rewatch the game and I watch Poe and how he's moving out there, man, I just don't understand how we haven't made some kind of move thus far. Like, I mean, trade a pick away or something, a next year pick. Get someone in here that can help immediately.
We got Justin Hamilton on the practice squad. Let's see what he can do. We don't need a lot from a D tackle. Be fat and don't get pushed backwards. That's it. That's it. Be fat and don't get pushed backwards. If I had two good hamstrings, I could do that. I mean, I'm not that much smaller than Poe. I'm right at 320 right now. I can go and be fat and not get pushed back 8 yards. And if I did get pushed back 8 yards, I would still be doing no worse than he's doing, making $4 million a year. And like you said, Jack Meeker, he's been saying since March, I want to be a Cowboy. Lambeau pointed it out. He lives down the street from D-Law. We could have made that happen. He doesn't have to be in shape. You pay him the $12,000 a week, he comes in and gets in shape for $12,000 a week. If he doesn't get in shape after 3 weeks, we cut him. But bring him in.
Well, if they were smart enough to do that, you wouldn't have Brandon Carr having to call him out.
Exactly.
So
yeah. All right. So we're at 34 minutes, and I've ran it long enough, and Lambeau's ran it long enough.
Real quick,
go ahead. Closing thoughts on Cleveland. I'll leave it up to you.
Did you notice there was a play in this game where we had Malik Turner on the field at wide receiver? If any one of y'all knows who that is, number 17, Malik Turner. He was on the field. It wasn't just him on the field for that play. It was Cedric Wilson, Malik Turner, and Noah Brown were our three receivers. That was interesting.
I normally catch stuff like that, and I did not see that. That's a good catch.
Cooper, Gallup, and Lamb all out at the same time. Malik Turner.
What quarter that was in?
It was when we was when was that? I think I made a note of it here. Let me see.
Okay. All right. Well,
it was. I'm not sure what quarter it was. It was when we was down 24 points with 21 minutes left.
Okay.
So it was about third quarter. Roughly. Okay. Or not third quarter. It was it was somewhere towards it was in the second half.
All right. I'll be sure to check that out.
After that was definitely interesting.
We're at 35 minutes, guys, and you guys have been great with the comments. Let's keep them coming. So now Cleveland is officially behind us in the books, and we are on to New York. And of course, when we start off talking about new teams, we have to go through our different segments. So the first segment is major storylines.
Storylines.
All right, so the first storyline that I have to talk about relates to the injuries. First of all, it sounds like Anthony Brown is coming back this week. And for what it's worth, Cam Irvin is supposed to be coming back this week. That was the reason for the cuts with Brandon Carr. Lambo, how much forget Cam Irvin? How much do you think Anthony Brown helps us in the secondary?
I never thought there would be a day I would say a lot, but that day has come.
It has.
If you would have told me at the beginning of the season, I'd be begging for Anthony Brown to be on the field.
Right.
I wouldn't have believed you. But after seeing how Worley played, I was highly disappointed. Highly disappointed. I'm pretty sure at one point me and you both said we could have seen Worley being one of the starting corners this season.
I said that all off season. It should have been him and Diggs.
And man, I was highly discouraged with what we've seen from him.
Yep.
Anthony Brown being back is going to be a huge difference. Yep. We've seen what he can do. He's a little grabby. He'll draw a few penalties, but overall he's solid and much better than the performance we've seen from Worley, man.
Yeah. I did see Tyron didn't practice today. I'm pretty much just chalking it up to Veterans Day off.
Yeah.
I don't expect to see him practice a lot until Thursday or Friday. You know what Tyron is. There's no reason for him to go out there and practice, honestly. It happens all the time in the league. I think there's going to be a recurring theme the rest of this year. They kind of see from last week we cannot have Terrence Steele on the field extended periods of time. So it's better to have a Tyron Smith who doesn't practice on the field than wear him out, risk losing them, and have to put Steele back on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another storyline. We talked about what Xavier Woods said. Did you hear the comment about D-Law saying they play soft, and then the coaches immediately coming out and saying that's not the case?
Yeah, I did see that.
I just don't get it.
I think the coach is just scared to get on the bad side of the players.
You think that's what it is?
Or then again, I don't know.
I mean, that could be the case because we do have a lot of high-paid players who are supposed to be our leaders, and they aren't showing that.
It's weird to hear that from. Well, it's not weird to hear from D-Law because he always says stuff like that, but it's weird for him to say they are all playing soft because I don't know, man.
Yeah.
He's been playing below average for a little bit.
Yep.
And I'm like, bro, take your own advice.
Exactly. Exactly. Practice what you preach.
And I know he's getting some pressures, but okay, you don't pay $100 million for a guy to get pressures.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, how long are we going to use that excuse for? Is it 11 games with a half a sack in 11 games or something along them lines?
Yeah.
That's not a $100 million edge rusher.
And exactly. Another storyline talking about injuries. Joe Looney's out for 4 weeks. How do you think that may affect the line, especially if we, knock on wood, have another injury?
Yeah, that'll be the only way it affects it, really. Well, he's a great guy to have out there on the field, personality-wise, motivational-wise. He's a great personality, a great leader. I'm sure they'll miss that part of having him out there, but yes, as long as we stay upright and don't suffer any more injuries, we'll be all right. But yeah, as far as depth goes, I mean, it's definitely not good.
Yeah.
If we need him,
mm-hmm.
I mean, I would be comfortable throwing him in at left guard, center, or right guard.
Right.
So that's a big time depth piece that would hurt if we need him and he's not there.
It could be a blessing in disguise for this reason. Cam Irvin does not need to play tackle.
Yeah.
And with Looney out, that almost assures us that Cam Irvin stays inside at guard or center because he was a first-round guard. He was a first-round center drafted, and he's played guard most of his career up until last year. So hopefully he gets to tap into some of what he had before, and Cam Irvin can be a decent center guard, and we get to find that out this year. But yeah, Brian, Cam Irvin is not terrible at guard or center, so I don't think it'll be horrible if he had to come in and play center. But I don't want to see that happen, like you said, and we still don't know what Connor McGovern is as a player. That's
Yeah. McGovern supposedly can play some center, so I he's such a mystery. Like I kind of want to see him. What are the chances if Connor Williams is struggling again for the fifth week in a row, which
Right.
will happen, that we see McGovern get thrown in there at some point?
or somebody.
Like, can we just give him a chance and see what he's got? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, Connor Williams is getting pushed around out there, and I don't understand why McGovern just can't just give him a few reps, see how he does.
That's a good point with Sanat Mendoza. You're right. He did get signed to the active roster, so he probably would get a shot. Jack Meeker's put this comment up twice about the tackles. I'll say this: the tackles are twofold. One, like I said before, Tyron Smith is not going to be doing a lot of practicing, so you do need bodies in that tackle for practice. And two, sometimes you just got to throw crap at the wall and see what sticks. So you just keep bringing guys in to the practice squad at tackle, and you hope one of them shows you something to say, hey, maybe I could use this guy in the future. The same thing we should have done with Snacks, but hey, that's another story. So yeah, these two tackles, they don't really change anything in terms of how the team will be structured. All right, Lambo. The last storyline that I have is Garrett coming home, going against his team, and I'm in the minority. I think Garrett's a good offensive coordinator. I could give you my whole rant about how we blame Garrett, but it's really Linehan. But that's a story for another day. We got Garrett coming in against this defense that he knows very well, and they're struggling. Do you think he may throw some wrinkles in that he may be able to exploit and kind of make some noise?
I don't know. To be honest, I thought he was going to do more than they've done over there in New York thus far. Because honestly, although I didn't think he was a great head coach, I thought he was a great offense coordinator when he was our OC. And I was expecting him to do some decent things over there. And I actually haven't been impressed with what I've seen from him so far.
I agree.
They have not scored many points.
They haven't.
It's been pathetic. About as pathetic as our defense.
I think they're bottom 8 or 10 in scoring.
Yeah, so them in the red zone in particular, they've just been a total letdown. And I've seen tons of Giants fans, including our buddy Justin Pinnock, just complaining about how conservative he's been, which we know all about that.
Exactly.
So he's been very conservative. He hasn't been taking shots. He's been taking 3 points when they need touchdowns. He's not been taking the 4th and 1s, like going for them like when they need to. But something tells me this game will mean a little bit more to him, and that he is going to completely flip the script on Mr. Conservative and throw in some random stuff here. We might see a punt fake. We might see him go for it on 4th down a few times. I have a feeling he's going to completely flip from what we've seen thus far this season with him to what we're going to see this week.
Yeah. And Jack Meeker, you're right. They are averaging 17 points a game. And guys, let's get the comments back up. It's getting kind of slow. We still got a couple more segments to go through, so we want to get your feedback. And I want to touch base on what Mendoza just said. He said the team knows him too, and they're also struggling. Here's my problem with that. When you put a coach up against a player, the coach always has the advantage. The reason for that is the players normally don't get to call their own plays. So even though our players know what Garrett likes to do, they don't have a lot of influence in working to his weaknesses, which we've seen every week. Looks like our defensive players have no clue what's going on. The problem is Garrett knows these players. He knows stuff about Jalen Smith's leg that the public doesn't know because he saw it every day. He knows what routes Anthony Brown is more susceptible to.
Yeah.
He knows what little tricks you can use to contain a D-law that other teams don't know. So if he knows this stuff, that gives him an advantage on how to take advantage of little games within a game. So I would expect to see a lot of Jalen getting picked on. I would expect a lot of isolation, Y option with Ingram. I would expect to see that quite a bit.
Do you think we can, if Jalen starts struggling, do you think they can put aside that it's Jalen Smith, the name Jalen Smith, and that he's got the contract, he's the second highest paid player on the defense? Can they put that aside and try to get Bernard some more snaps if Jalen is struggling again in pass coverage? Maybe we see some more Bernard or some Bernard. I've been wanting to see some of them. I don't see how it could really hurt. Jalen's been among the worst linebackers in the league when he's forced into pass coverage. So what can it really hurt to see what Bernard's got if we're struggling out there? I don't know.
Not even Gifford. Gifford showed a lot of flashes, and he's healthy.
Right.
Why don't we see him more?
That's a good question.
He may be our best pass covering linebacker right now because we haven't seen Bernard in an NFL game. But I know Bernard can cover. I know that. I've seen that for 3 years at Utah and BYU. Gifford showed me flashes in real games last year whenever he was healthy. Hopefully they take the heads out of their butts and say, you know what? Jalen's a two-down backer. When it gets to obvious passing downs, why don't we try this young guy out? Gifford seems like a smart guy. Maybe he can call the plays one play a series.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And Brian,
It's all cleanup.
it took the words right out of my mouth, Umbo.
It's all on that tape, man. Just all cleanup.
Yeah. Nobody's taking anything away from Jalen in run defense. North and South, probably one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
When it comes to playing in space where there's a lineman coming at him and he has to get out of the way.
From here to here.
Right.
Here to here.
Yeah, that's his problem. You're right. He can clean up a pile better than anybody. But can he make an open field tackle in space?
Yeah, when he has to go east to west with the quickness and plant on that foot real hard.
Yeah, Lambo Jeff says he agreed they won't do it.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. But you know what's interesting that RJ Ochoa tweeted 11 hours ago that I wanted to bring up?
Yeah, go ahead. I didn't get to hear that one, so I'm interested in it.
The New York Giants offense has only scored 3 touchdowns in 4 full games this season.
3 touchdowns in 4 full games.
And the Dallas Cowboys defense has allowed 3 touchdowns in the first half of each of our last 3 games. So we're allowing 3 touchdowns per first half over the last 3 weeks. We're going against a team that can't even get 3 touchdowns over 4 weeks hardly. So
yeah,
like he said, what gives on Sunday? That's a good question, man, because it's going to be suck versus suck, and somebody's got to come out on top.
Exactly. They can't both lose this week.
Look, if we lose this game, I've lost all hope for this season and this team because our offense should not have any issue, in my opinion, putting over 30 points up on this defense.
I don't see that as the problem. The problem is, can we hold them to under 30?
That would be it. So if our defense is that bad to where we're going score for score with the offense that's that terrible, like I don't know, man. That is just going to ruin my optimism for the season.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns in 4 full games. They better not come out there matching us up and down the field.
Yeah.
Like I will be just. I mean, at this point though, would I be surprised? Would we be surprised? I don't know.
No. Alex Kueller, that I know that's a new name, so thank you for joining us. Make sure you like this video, and all you guys, make sure you like the video where you're watching. Make sure you like the page of the other person. I'm Bluff City Cowboys. Lambo is Cowboys. Y'all make sure you support both of our pages, as well as the Cowboy Zone page. Your engagement is what drives us to do this every week. So make sure you guys continue to engage and continue to support. And Alex comes up with the follow-up question. Why did we switch from 3-4 to a 4-3? I don't know if you meant that in reverse or not, but they've been running concepts of both. So it's not like they've been doing 100% one or the other. And I think that just goes back to Nolan and his scheme of being multiple.
Yeah.
I don't think it has much to do with the linemen. I mean, the linebackers.
I don't think the players are really liking it
Yeah,
too much.
exactly.
But yeah, we were 4-3 for previously. But yeah, they're doing a little bit of both now.
Just falling down the rabbit hole. If we lose Sunday, the season's over.
Well, the NFC least will still keep us in
Yeah.
this thing, but man, we're probably going to lose to the Cardinals. I think we lose one of these. We'll lose one of these next 4 games, in my opinion, is what I'm hoping the worst case scenario is. I would like to win them all, but if we lose, I don't know, man. I don't think the way we're playing right now, I don't think we'll beat the Cardinals, but we definitely should beat the Giants.
Yeah.
And slipped my mind. Who else we got coming up in these next 4 games? Sherman. No, what'd he say? What'd Sherman say about Nolan? I didn't catch that.
Oh, Richard Sherman. Yeah, he was on somebody's show. And I think they asked him the question, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mendoza. I think they asked him the question about what do you think about firing somebody's defensive coordinator in the middle of the season, and can you recover from it? I think that was the question asked. Cowboys 2068. Thank you for joining us as well. From YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Lambo's channel. Yeah.
What did Sherman say?
Yeah, I think that's what he said. And Mendoza, please correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody asked a question about changing defensive coordinators within the season. Okay, he did say that was the question.
I know Wade Phillips out there itching to get back in the game. I don't know if we necessarily got the pieces he needs to run his type of defense though, but I'd be willing if they would want to bring him back in here.
You know, Mendoza said the Cards is worrisome. Even before the season, when we were all hype, I said we probably lose to the Cards. So
yeah, we both called that game a loss on our preseason. What do you want to call it? Our rundown of our win-loss record rundown.
And then you have the Redskins changing quarterback, so that'll be a positive for us because Kyle Allen is hot garbage.
You know, I'm actually convinced that he's gonna be better than Haskins, though. That's how much I think Haskins was bad. I don't know. I'm surprised Alex Smith didn't get the nod.
Lambo, Alex Smith should not be playing football right now.
He's crazy. I can't get his leg out of him.
Did you see the documentary?
His leg looked like some kind of cartoon,
exactly
like when a cartoon figure like SpongeBob or something breaks a leg or their leg bends like in a thing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe his leg is back to where he can even play football.
But Brian, even though he runs a 3-4, he's a smart enough coordinator that he'll run 4-3 until he can make the full adjustments. Because
that's what I was thinking.
If you go back to Denver, his first year, they ran a 4-3 until they got the pieces that they needed to run that 3-4 the way they wanted to. All right, so we're at 55 minutes, and we still have a couple of segments to go through. So now we will go into our key matchups of the game.
Key matchups.
All right, so I have a long list of key matchups in this game just because this is a rivalry game and there's just so many moving parts. And guys, if there's a matchup in this game that you want to talk about, let us know. And Mendoza, I'm right there with you. We got George Edwards, who was one of the architects of a great Minnesota defense. He's right there with us. Why not let him just take over? I don't get it. Yeah.
Makes too much sense.
Yeah, exactly. So first key matchup, And guys, do me a favor. Let me know if you can hear the music or the talking when I put these videos up. I just want to make sure I'm not having any technical issues right now. So somebody in the comments, let me know. Do you hear the audio play? All right. So my first key matchup, and I think we kind of talked about it before. This is going to be our biggest matchup of the game: Evan Ingram versus Jalen Smith. The basis of a Garrett offense is the tight end, and this is the most athletic tight end that he's had. And Jalen is terrible in pass coverage. You know they're going to isolate him. How do you think we find a way not to get Jalen isolated with Ingram?
I hope so, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they. No, I don't think so.
This is a matchup where if we lose this game, this is the matchup that can lose it for us. This is definitely the matchup that can lose it for us.
I agree. Slayton versus Diggs.
Yeah, that's a good one, Jeff.
That's a good one
too. I think Diggs can handle Slayton.
I do too.
I mean, if you look at who Diggs is going against the last couple weeks, Robert Woods, Julio Jones, DK Metcalf, Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry.
He's gonna be happy probably to be going against Slayton this week after all that.
These are Pro Bowl guys. He gets an undrafted guy who's talented. I'm a big Slayton fan, but this is probably going to be his easiest matchup so far in the league. So if you guys have a bold prediction, this may be the week to go ahead and call that Diggs pick. And I see Alex is pessimistic like the rest of us. He'll go off like Kittle and Kelsey.
Hey, do you know that this is almost, well, it's not really off topic because a little bit. We just talked about Haskins a second ago, and we are playing the Giants, so this has to do with Daniel Jones. But Dak has more passing yards in the second halves alone. If you just took his passing yard total for the second half of all 4 games, he has more second half passing yards this season than Haskins and Daniel Jones have for the entire season of all 4 quarters, all games.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So you throw that in there. Are you snaps from Robbins? Reggie Robbins? Oh, yeah.
Reggie Robinson.
What could it hurt also to bring him out there, man? Throw him in at safety too.
I was just going to ask, what position do you bring him in at?
I'd probably bring him in at safety.
Yeah. I would be afraid just because he changed positions like a week before the season started.
True.
But he can't do any worse than what we saw from Thompson.
Yeah. I mean, Thompson was busting nonstop.
And again, effort, athleticism, technique. I think he's going to give you the effort, and he has the athleticism. So he couldn't be terrible, but I still think I want to see that project kind of in the background until it's ready.
Yeah.
Bradley and I definitely want to see him because I know he can play the run, and I know he can pass rush, which are 2 things we haven't seen from Griffin. There's no excuse why Anai has not touched the field. Mendoza says as much as it's been to no avail, put Woods on Ingram or put Worley at safety. I'm hoping if Brown is back this week that they do actually try Worley at safety, and I would like that Worley Ingram matchup. I think that'll be a good matchup.
Yeah. I think he's going to do a better job at safety than corner, I think.
Exactly like Mendoza said. Let him do what Alden does. I wish they would do that, but they don't. Andre asked about the linebacker activated from practice squad.
Francis Bernard.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's Francis Bernard, which was the best cover linebacker in college last year, in my opinion.
Yeah, he showed up on special teams a little bit. We didn't really get to see him on defense, but I would like to see him get a few snaps here and there.
And I missed over this comment, Brian, a while ago about Griffin. If he does not continue to get washed out, he needs to go. If he gets blocked by Evan Ingram, he should get cut on the spot. I'm just going out there.
Yeah, who was it last week? Austin Hooper?
Austin Hooper and whoever their backup is. I don't even know his name.
But Evan Ingram is not known for his pass blocking.
Yeah.
So you're right. If Ingram's out there blocking this guy, you just go ahead and hang up the cleats.
Yeah.
So
exactly. So another key matchup I want to talk about is if there's ever a chance for a get right game for our defensive guys, it's this one. And you have D-Law going against Cam Fleming, who's the starting right tackle for the Giants right now. Fleming, he should know Fleming better than anybody because he probably saw him in practice.
I guarantee he knows. Yeah.
Yeah, like you say, he should know him better than anybody.
He knows how to slap his hands down the right way. I'm sure he knows every single move that he can beat him with. There's no D-Law better get a sack this game.
I agree. And he's historically owned the Giants. Like, that's been his bread and butter pretty much his whole career. I'm sure if we go back and look at those whatever sacks from whatever many games, I guarantee you majority of his work came from the Giants.
You know, most of my favorite sacks over the recent memory have been against the Giants because you just had the Eli face, and then Daniel Jones does the same face. It looks like his brother. So it's like, I'm ready to see, now we get to call it Danny face. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to see that.
So Jeff has Freeman versus our run D. This should not be a deciding factor. I hope it's not.
The sad thing is Freeman will come out here and probably run for 100 yards on us.
He might.
Sad. Gallman, don't sleep on Gallman because I thought Gallman could have took the duties over without them even signing Freeman because I think Gallman's a decent back that just hasn't had the opportunity.
You know I'm a Clemson fan, Lambo, so I'm all aboard with you on that one. Guy.
Yeah, like I remember I think it was last year. I picked him up in fantasy just because I thought if he got the opportunity and something happened to Barkley that he'd be a great grab. And yeah, I like Gallman. I think he's a good back. I think he's probably better than Freeman is right now.
Yeah.
So
you guys are going right down my list. Mendoza says Coop on Burnt Toast Bradbury.
Burnt Toast Bradbury.
Now, Bradbury's actually had a pretty good season.
He has.
He's been actually following the top receivers from other teams. So he's going to be a follower with Coop. So that's going to be interesting.
They did lose. They lost the rookie safety, right, Xavier, for the season. Okay, just making sure I knew that correctly.
Yeah, they drafted Julian Love last year out of Notre Dame, and they played him as safety now instead of corner. So we got a young safety back there, and also I don't even know who the number 2 corner is. No, they have Logan Ryan, don't they? That's one of my key matchups.
Was it them that got Logan Ryan?
They did get Logan Ryan, and they're playing him at corner.
Probably their best defender.
Well, they've been playing Bradbury like the best defender so far. He's been following the best receivers.
He does have some. I believe I've seen some PFF on him lately, or not too long ago. That was very positive. His coverage grades.
Well, we're gonna see it firsthand this week. Zay, if we lose, I just laugh. I think we all would after we finish crying. And you also say our offense will kill their secondary. I hope so, but it's a key matchup that we have to pay attention to because you never know.
I really feel like Zeke should have a dominant game this week.
Yeah.
That's
one of my key matchups too. Yeah.
They got what? They got Marcus Golden.
You know, Lambo, I like their front 3.
You do?
Yeah, they got Leonard Williams, which is one of my key matchups.
Yeah,
and they also have what's the big fat guy? What's his name? They drafted a guy last year in the first round that everybody kind of thought, why did they do that?
I was just looking at it earlier.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of their front 3 because I really like that.
Is it Kyler Fackrell or O'Shane?
Not O'Shane Zimenez. No, it's they have Alvin Tomlinson, who's a big fat guy that I've always liked, who I wish we would have signed, And then they got my guy from Clemson,
Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence. Yeah. They got Dexter Lawrence from Clemson. So they got 3 big 320-pound guys up front that have been doing fairly good at clogging the holes because they haven't, outside of that Pittsburgh game week 1, they haven't really been getting beat on the ground. It's really been through the air.
Yeah.
But again, that's something we gotta keep a watch on. They give you nothing in pass rush, so the pass should be there all day.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I was about to say. The pass rush is not impressive.
Yeah, for sure.
It's more impressive than what we've got out of D-Law, but
and I like that linebacker too. Blake Martinez is a tackling machine when it comes.
he's if you're in a fantasy league that's got a defensive players where you rack up a point per tackle, he's always a great grab.
I love Blake Martinez as a run stopper. That guy scares me as a run stopper. He can take a game over when it comes to run. Run. So yeah, Zeke's gonna have his work cut out for him, and that's one of my matchups too. Blake versus Zeke. That guy is a beast when it comes to stopping the run. So something interesting to keep up with. Like I mentioned before, Golden Tate has always had great games against us, whether it was in Seattle or in Philly, and now we get to see him again in New York. And more than likely, he'll be playing in the slot, which is where most of the damage against us has been the past couple of weeks. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Golden Tate, a little long in the tooth, but he always steps his game up when he plays against Dallas.
That is true. He will do nothing for weeks and weeks and weeks until Dallas pops up on the schedule.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden he becomes Mr. Pro Bowl.
Hey, Lambo, Brian put a bet up here. He wants to take it.
Nope, I'm not taking it.
I'm not touching that one, even the Brian.
I feel like there's some high school running backs they could bring on their roster that could run on us.
Andre asked who the Giants safeties are. They drafted Xavier McKinney from Alabama, who Lambo and I both loved and wish we could have got him. He got hurt in the offseason. They drafted Julian Love in the 2nd round last year out of Notre Dame. And he's a corner, but they're playing him at free safety. And their strong safety is the kid from Cleveland that was a 1st-round pick. And his name always escapes me. What's that kid's name? The kid from he was a safety. He was a big punt returner. I know.
The one that they traded for?
Yeah, the one they traded for. That's
Peppers. Jabril Peppers.
Jabril Peppers is their strong safety. So they got athletes at safety. They got some real athletes at safety who can both cover and both run. But I just think our corner matchups, with their corner matchups against our receivers, are going to be a problem for them. And plus their lack of pass rush from the front guys. All right. So I got 2 more key matchups that I want to make us aware of. And if you guys have any other ones, feel free to get in the comments and let me know. One of them, well, both of them are related to our coaching staff. The first one is Joe Judge, the Patriots protege, who they're always known for being able to scheme stuff up against Mike McCarthy. And Alex, like you said, those safeties won't be able to stop Zeke. I'm more concerned about their 3 big linemen up front because they're all over 310 pounds. And also Blake Martinez, who's a beast when it comes to the run game.
Yeah.
Now, the first matchup is Joe Judge versus Mike McCarthy. I feel like Joe Judge will take the reins quicker than Mike McCarthy will. What do you think about that? Like, and if it goes south, which one do you think will come in and say, I'm going to make these adjustments and take it and put the ball in my hands?
I mean, honestly, with the fire, all the pressure in Cowboys Nation right now that they're feeling, it could be McCarthy.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, I feel like it's impossible when you're a Dallas Cowboys head coach to not hear everything that's going on. It is probably amplified times 100. And
next one, Andre.
I think he wants to find every reason he can to completely just shut that down. shut down the narrative
Yeah.
going on and just get this season back on a positive track.
Mm-hmm.
That's me being a little optimistic,
Yeah.
though.
I think just because of where he comes from in his coaching tree, I think Joe Judge would be the one that's more likely to kind of take the reins if there's any problems. Because this is a big game for them. This is everybody's big game. You play against Dallas, especially when it's a rivalry.
Always.
So if things go south, everybody's gonna be watching this game. So this is the game where you can kind of make your stamp as I'm a legitimate head coach in the league. You can get away with that with the Steelers because nobody really expects you to beat that team. But when you playing in division and it's the Cowboys, they expect to see you come out with some stuff. And I hope I don't see all this cutesy Mike McCarthy going for it on 4th down with fake punts and horrible watermelon kicks.
Especially in a close game. Don't do it in a close game.
It doesn't need to be close, but yeah, for sure.
I hope it's not close.
All right, my last key matchup of the night with an hour 11, or hour 12, and Andre kind of beat me to the punch. Mike Nolan versus Jason Garrett. This is the matchup that's going to determine the game, honestly.
Yeah. Like we talked about earlier with when I mentioned the touchdowns we give up versus the touchdowns they were able to score. It's trash versus trash when it comes. So,
I give Garrett, again, like I said before, I give Garrett the advantage in terms of coaching on this one, only because he knows the weaknesses of the players. If he can take advantage of those weaknesses, he could cause some problems. But have the talent.
I was going to say, then at the same time, the talent, we do have more, although they played like crap, we have more talent on defense.
Yeah, we do.
If they can pull some of the talent out of these dudes that's been sleeping all season.
Yeah.
Do we get Anthony Brown back this week? That's a key factor as well.
Yeah, I think we do. And since you brought that up, Cowboys 2068 asked the question: if Brown is ready, is he our slot?
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
No, I think he's going to be outside.
I agree.
He's definitely going to be outside because who's going to be outside if they put him in the slot? Lewis or Worley. I don't want to see Worley there again at all right after last week, but I think that they would put Anthony on the outside personally.
Yeah, for sure. And he's terrible in the slot. I just got to say it. He's not good laterally. He's a very fast vertical guy.
Yeah.
And if he gets lined up against a guy like Slayton, that fits his game. I don't even know who that number 2 receiver is. So I'm not even concerned about him. But I know Tate's going to play the slot because I think Shepard's still out. Brian asked a very good question before we move on to our game predictions and bowl predictions. If Nolan gets beat by Garrett, does Nolan get the hook? I say hell yes. He deserves to get the hook.
He deserves to, but will he?
That's true. That's a good follow-up. If this game is close, I think he deserves to get the reins taken from him. Because it shouldn't be close from talent for talent. It shouldn't be close. We should get up on them early, and our guys' talent should shine through and make some plays.
Yeah.
Andre, I agree. Logan Ryan is 5'9". I think they've been playing a lot of man lately in New York, so Gallup should definitely have the advantage in that one. So he should have a big game as well as Lamb.
Now, who is going to stop Lamb? By the way, who is going to stop him?
I don't know who their slot corner is. I think it might be Darnay Holmes, which is one of my favorite guys out of UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure he's the starting slot.
Because a very interesting stat, which we've all known this about Mr. CD since the moment we drafted him, because we all knew it was just, I don't know, I just had that feeling. It was almost like we were the football gods were like, all right, you guys messed up. Randy Moss slid, you passed.
Yeah,
we're gonna give you one more chance at this. So here's a CD Lamb for you, and we took him. But CeeDee Lamb has 21 receptions in his first 4 games. No other Cowboy rookies ever had more than 17 to start their career. I seen that. So, out of all the great wide receivers we've had in Cowboys history, CeeDee Lamb has had more receptions through the first 4 games as a rookie than any of them.
Yeah.
He's also had the most receiving yards through the first 4 games of any of them. So that's like, for example, Michael Irvin had 228 through his first 4 games. CD's at 309. So Dez was at 180 at this point. So I mean, it's just so impressive. And if they don't find a way to contain him, man, we could see another good game from CD as well.
Right. And thanks for pulling this up for me, Mendoza. That second receiver is Damian Ratley, who I've never heard of before in my life. And they're, if I'm not mistaken, Ratley played for Cleveland last year. I think he was like a rookie or something, and he got buried on the depth chart behind Hollywood Brown. I mean Hollywood, not Hollywood.
Antonio Antonio
Callaway and
Callaway, my Florida guy.
Yeah, and I can't think of the other guy's name. It's Hollywood something, but it's not Brown.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
And their slot corner is Corey Ballantyne. So yeah.
Corey Ballantyne. Corey?
Yeah, Holmes does do the kick return. Corey, Corey Ballantyne. But yeah, I don't think Holmes is a starting slot guy. I think it's Corey Ballantyne. But Damian Ratley is a fast guy. I mean, hopefully he doesn't make any plays against us. And
so I just had to type his name in on Twitter real quick, and the first thing that came up is Corey Ballantyne needs to be cut ASAP. 457 likes on the dude's comment, so that could be good.
That's a good sign for this week.
That's very good, and I like that.
All right, Lambo. So we're over. So before we go, you want to do game predictions or bowl predictions?
I think everybody's favorite is bold predictions.
All right. So before we go, we will hit you guys up with these bold predictions so you can get back in the comments.
Bold predictions.
And yeah, Jeff, I do remember Ratley for the Browns last year. I remember the name. Yeah, he's not a bad receiver. He just got buried on that depth chart. All right, guys. So we're in your favorite segment, which is bold predictions. So let's get those bold predictions in. I'm expecting to see a lot of defensive bold predictions because we have a lot of advantages. So I'll start us off, Lambo. My first bold prediction: D-Law gets at least a sack and a half. I think this is his week.
I like it.
The stars are aligning for him. Daniel Jones is terrible in the pocket, and he'll probably run right into him. You got another bold prediction?
I'm thinking.
You know what? Should we open the phone lines up for a minute?
Yeah, let's see if anybody calls in today. But yeah, I like that, especially with the whole Cam Fleming thing. He knows him so well. He probably knows Garrett pretty well. I like that prediction. I'm trying to think here. I think,
guys, the comments are kind of dry. I don't see any bold predictions coming up. Let's get them in there and let me know what you're thinking. I keep track of them, and I'm waiting to give you guys your props if you get one right.
Yeah, I see you still got some watching on the my Cowboys Y'all Facebook page too. You guys go ahead and throw some bold predictions in there for us.
All right, Francisco Zavala. I don't recognize that name.
I don't either.
So, thank you for joining us. I see you watching from YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to whoever's page you're watching from, and make sure you subscribe to the other person's page as well. I'm Bluff City Cowboys and Lamboys Cowboys Y'all. So make sure you find them and subscribe. Phone lines are open. Andre comes with a bold prediction. We get a pick six. You wanna tie a player's name to that pick six, Andre, or you just want to leave it open ended?
Diggs.
All right, Lambo, you got your bold prediction yet?
Oh, thinking on it. I like to always go bold.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan Wilson gets an interception.
Oh,
Donovan Wilson gets an interception.
All right, caller, you on the air?
What's up, Marcus?
What's up?
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Jeff, before you say your bold prediction, I'm going to say mine because you'll say it and then I won't get it because you always say it. Same thing.
I was going to predict this one, Lambo, but I'll let you go first.
Donovan Wilson's going to get an interception.
Yeah. Mendoza gets the hat trick for CD Lamb, 3 touchdowns.
Ooh, jeez. If CD gets 3 touchdowns, the league's going to blow up.
Hey, Mendoza, is one of those touchdowns punt return, or you just going 3 offensive? Brian, I see you put their corners up there. You forgot about Logan Ryan. He's one of their corners, and Corey Ballantyne. I don't think this Isaac Yadam is a starting guy. But, I mean, I don't follow the Giants, so he could be. Andre says he's going to leave it open-ended to get credit. So he wants to say pick 6 from somebody.
I got to plug my laptop in. Hold on.
All right, Jeff. You got your bold prediction for us?
All right, so this prediction is going to be so bold that if it comes true, I need a gift from y'all.
Okay.
Guys. Something that says the Cowboy zone or Lambo can give me the Cowboy cooler or something like that. Is that bold?
I'll get you a shirt.
All right. So my bold prediction for the game is Dontarie Poe gets a sack.
That would be
I was
bold.
gonna like that one.
That would be bold.
Dontarie Poe gets a sack of burgers after the game.
What a burger. The official burger of the Dallas Cowboys.
Sponsored by Miller Lite, official beer of the Dallas Cowboys.
That's my bold prediction.
Hey, Brian, you know who Lamar 1986 is?
Lamar, is that Lamar from my buddy from College Park, from my hometown? Lamar? Is that the Lamar?
All right, and Mendoza has an offensive is CD gets the hat trick, and defensive the defense has 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
Ooh, that would be great after as horrible as our defense has been for quite some time. That would be.
With that being said, I want to do something. I know this probably going to lead into our conversation for Sunday, but I really want to pick up Dallas defense and start them in fantasy this week. But I'm so scared.
Yeah, you might start them and then get -5.
Exactly.
Nah.
That's the thing that's keeping me from starting them.
Hey, Lambo, Lamar says that is him from your hometown.
Lamar Moore, my bro, man. What's up, dude? Hey, you should call in, man. After Jeff, if you want to, give us a call in for a few. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us too, and make sure you subscribe to whoever channel you're watching, and subscribe to the other person's channel as well.
College Park, 2 up, 2 down.
All right, guys. Okay. Rosie comes in with Zeke's getting 200 yards rushing.
Wow.
That would
no fumbles.
Considering he hadn't gotten 100 yards rushing yet, that would be a bold prediction. And then Brian has a bunch of defensive ones. Diggs has a pick 6. D-Law has 3 sacks. Alden has a sack, and CD gets a touchdown. All right, Jeff, since you're on the line and you gave us your bold prediction, you got any thoughts we haven't talked about yet that you want to talk about?
I'll address my comment that I made earlier when I said that if we lose this game, our season is done.
Okay.
I feel like that we looked horrible the first couple of games that we played. I feel like we should have beat the Browns. The Rams, toss-up. Falcons is a toss-up because we knew it was going to be an offensive game. There's no way possible that we should lose unless we get out-coached. That we should lose the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way we should lose this game.
Okay.
And if we lose this game, I think it's time to push the panic button on coaching, on personnel, on a lot of things on the season. Because this is, to me, this is equivalent to the Jets game of last year.
Yeah.
A game that you said we were going to lose,
Yep.
but we should have easily won with no problem, and we struggled with it.
Yep.
If we lose, it'll be our first division loss, but our second or third conference loss, second, something like that.
Yeah.
These games are the games that come back to hunt us when it comes to playoff position.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I know everybody's been all out of shape about the Browns loss. Yeah, it was ugly. Yeah, we shouldn't have lost to the Browns. But at the end of the day, for playoff position, a loss to the Browns is not hurting us. A
Yeah, at
loss
least it's
to
the
the
AFC.
Rams hurt us.
Mm-hmm.
A potential loss to the Falcons hurt us. A potential loss to the Giants. Those are the losses that will hurt us. Any NFC loss is what hurts us. And so, like I said, if we don't come out firing on our cylinders and we lose this game, it's time to hit the panic button.
Yeah. So with
Yeah.
that being said, let's go into our last segment of the night, which will be game predictions.
Game prediction.
All right, Jeff, since you've been talking, go ahead and lead us in the game predictions and let us know what you think about the game and the score.
Okay. Of course, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm hardly ever going to predict them to lose.
Be
I
objective.
am gonna I am gonna taper my expectations down. I've been expecting thinking a 40 burger.
Okay.
Which for those of you who don't know, I have Dak and Cooper as my receiver and quarterback. So I hope for 40 burgers all the time. But I think I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. I think we'll win. I think the game will be more like a 31-13 type game.
Wow, you
I
don't
think
expect them to
we'll
score at all, huh?
I believe, and maybe I'm fantasy biased. I don't think they're going to be able. I believe they're going to be able to move the ball a little bit on us, but I don't believe it's going to translate into points.
You said 34-13?
31-13.
31-13, okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. I see. Go ahead, Jeff.
For fantasy purposes, I hope the one touchdown they get is Evan Ingram because I have him on my fantasy team as well.
Right. I see Brian's coming with his usual 40 burger, 42-30. Andre's coming in 31-17, which is similar to what Cowboys 2068 had, which is 34-17. And Mendoza says we'll be the only team in the division to win this week. That would definitely help us in the playoff race for the division. And I see Brian made another comment that I looked over talking about Armstrong, Crawford, Looney, and Tyron were both did not practice.
Mm-hmm. Armstrong's pretty banged up from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
He's pretty banged up, playing through it, but banged up.
Well, if he's banged up, that would mean we should see a nine this week. Because, yeah, Armstrong's been the next man up pretty much this whole season so far. I haven't even really seen Crawford on the field, so I don't even know. I don't even care about that. Shouldn't be
That is a wasted $9 million.
Shouldn't be here anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
just
listen to me.
You think about how much Snacks is getting, and the fact that we got Crawford making that we could have got Snacks and two other guys to contribute
at least
for what Crawford's giving us right now, or we're paying Crawford. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
And we're not getting nothing back from that guy.
Nothing.
Right?
Nothing.
Only thing we're getting is him being washed out of the play from what I've seen.
Him and a bunch of
undersized defensive tackle. Yeah, undersized defensive tackle, not giving us nothing.
Now that you mention it, I've never seen him line up at end. They've been playing him strictly as a defensive tackle at 280.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem.
And 3 technique. Yep.
Right. All right. Mendoza has a closer game than most of us, 35-26. Lambo, you got yours yet?
Lamar, I see you with 30. Lamar's got 31-21.
Yeah, I got him down. All right. Pap,
yeah, I got mine.
Pap, thank you for joining us. Happy belated birthday. I see you joining in late, so let us know what your game prediction is for this week. All right, what you got, Lambo?
I have this really strange feeling that we're going to slightly slow down the pace, try to keep our defense a little more fresh this game, and I think we're going to win this game 27-17.
Wow. That is a lot. That was a lot more low scoring than I thought. You're the only one in the 20s actually, out of everybody I put down.
So so Lambo, did that mean you predicting a big game from Zeke?
I am predicting over 100 yards from Zeke. Are we doing over under, or are we doing that pregame?
Over under is pregame.
Yeah, that's right. I always forget. I don't know why. So tune back in for the pregame show, you guys.
Yeah. We'll give you
Okay.
the over unders. We'll probably also do fantasy favorites on Sunday because we're an hour and a half right now, and
Yeah.
I don't want to hold you guys up too late. I know we have some great fans, and I know you guys watch every podcast that come out. And some of these guys keep you 2 and 3 hours. We try not to do that, so we try to keep it at an hour. But sometimes, when the conversation's so good, we go over a little.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, I feel like I want to. Oh, Alex Queller comes with the 45-34.
I like Rosie's
What did she put?
44-10.
Man,
I'll take that all day.
man.
I will take that all day. That would be nice because it seems like as a Cowboys fan, you got to have some kind of like heart medicine or something.
Yeah.
Like I would. It's just so nice when you get that blowout game like we did to Philly the first time we played them last year. I think it was the first time we played them.
Yeah.
But when you just blow a team out and you ain't got to worry and you don't have to stress, it's so nice just to have a break.
Yeah, I would love to sit back and watch a butt whooping.
It's terrible because when I call Marcus during the game doing certain points, he'd be so wrapped up in the game that he can't answer the phone. He'd be having a heart attack or something like that.
Yeah. I take it serious.
Yeah, I lose it. I lose it, man.
I think we all do. I see Jonathan has another 20 game, 24-13. For me, I think it's 38-20. I'm leaning 38-20. I just don't see a way any team could stop us from scoring 35 points anytime. I mean, even if we run the ball, I just think our offense is so talented that eventually they're going to throw it deep and it's going to be a long score. Which, by the way, Lambo and I love to point out, stop talking about the Dak can't throw deep.
It's a myth.
He proves it every week. It's wrong. It's a myth, like Lambo said.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. That's not true. It's not true at all.
Thinking Dak doesn't exist. Yeah.
Exactly.
His deep ball accuracy's been top 5 for multiple years.
Cowboys 26-8, we appreciate the love and the support, man. We couldn't do this without guys like you leaving these great comments.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
Considering we've been doing this for less than 5 months, we appreciate getting comments like that. And again, none of this is possible without you guys and your support.
So please, definitely continue to tune in. We love it. We love talking with everybody, and share as well. That really helps everything grow. So yeah, we really, really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, for sure. And Alex, go make your money. Don't worry about calling in. We have a pregame show on Sunday, so if you're available Sunday, be sure to tune in and you can join in on the line as well.
And Taiwan, thank you so much for the Cash App. I just see that notification, man. I appreciate that.
Checked, but man, Taiwan's been a consistent supporter.
Yeah, thank you, Taiwan,
for that as well. And your boy Lamar comes in. He doesn't think we score close to 40 because we won't be playing from behind. You know what?
Wow. That's kind of my thought.
That's interesting. The first game we don't expect us to play from behind. How will the offense perform? That's a good question. That's something we may have to dive into a little bit on Sunday.
Yeah.
How do we expect the offense to perform if they don't have to play from behind?
I could be completely off on my prediction too, though, because I don't see McCarthy as a conservative Garrett type. So he might just stay on the gas.
He might. I hope so.
Which is what I love.
He need to prove a point. He need to prove a point.
Yeah, we need to send them to the. I mean, I want to see them walk off the field crying.
I do too.
Just break their heart.
We need to kill a gnat with a sledgehammer. We need to put pedal to the metal. Seriously.
Yeah, for sure.
We need a statement game for the rest of the league.
Yeah.
All right, Lambo. We're at hour 35 right now. Do you want to do fantasy favorites since it's really quick? Go ahead and knock it out and maybe do another one on Sunday. Or
Yeah,
you
we
want
can. I got think one up real quick.
All right,
Why you go first.
got
I
a
ain't
couple.
thought mine up yet.
All right, so now we're gonna go to the last segment of the night, and that is our fantasy favorites.
Fantasy favorites.
So yeah, like Brian said in the comments, I want to see us up big by halftime. I want to be able to sit back and actually enjoy a game and not have to call Jeff screaming, why the F did they do that? And go back doing the commercials and rewind plays to see what went wrong. I'm tired of doing that. I just want to enjoy a game and maybe go live afterwards to celebrate and not have to start the show off like it's the end of the world. One time, Dallas, do it for me. All right, so now we're in our fantasy favorites. Jeff, you got any? I know Lambo's still looking. I got a couple.
Yeah, I got
Okay,
several in this game, but I'll try to limit it to like two.
give us two for this game and then give us one for a game outside of this one.
Two for this game and one for a game outside of this one. Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be a big game for Gallup. He's been quiet the last couple of games. Lamb has gotten the shine last week. Cooper has gotten the shine last week, and Gallup has kind of been the forgotten man. I know as far as fantasy wise. So I'm gonna go out on the limb and say Gallup is gonna have 100 plus yards, 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right. You said you had another one for this game. Who you got?
Based on their offense, I believe it's gonna be a big game for Evan Ingram.
Okay.
Not just because he's on my fantasy team, but
Yeah.
he's athletic and Jason Garrett is gonna find a way to isolate Jalen. And like I said in the comments, it won't be pretty. So I think Evan Ingram is gonna go over 100 yards, maybe 125 and a touchdown at least.
Hey, Cowboys 2016. I like CD for TD. I like that.
Yeah, I think I tweeted that, or maybe it was my Facebook. I can't remember, but I was like CD for the TD.
Before you go, Lambo, you got yours yet? All right, let me ask both you guys this before Lambo gives his, and I'm hoping not giving his away. Would either one of you feel confident starting the Cowboys defense this week in fantasy?
It depends on who I have. Like, I have the Colts in one of my leagues, who is the number 1 ranked defense so far.
Yeah.
In fantasy wise. So obviously I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. But guys like me and Jeff, we play the no defense strategy where we just stream them every week.
I stream too. I just got lucky and picked them up off waivers.
Yeah. And Mendoza also says CD is gonna have a big game. So before you go, Lambo, if you didn't have the Colts defense, would you feel comfortable playing the Cowboys defense this week?
Yeah.
You would?
I think I would.
What about you, Jeff?
I think there's a fire under there.
I'm actually in that predicament now. I was a couple of weeks ago. I like to look ahead to see which teams are historically bad, with offense. And I saw this Giants game coming, and I was going to pick up the Cowboys defense, but actually after I saw what I saw against the Browns, I pulled back on it.
Yeah. And
luckily in our league, they're still out there. So if I want to do it, I've probably got a few days to do it. I think I'm going to stay with the Saints defense right now. It's really because they're playing at home and they usually play pretty good at home.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have a defense, I'd take a flyer on them. I definitely would.
I still don't think I could. As a Cowboys fan, it's hard.
I would this week, but what I will say is don't get caught in the trap of picking them up this week. They place the chip on their shoulder. They have a great game and, get double-digit points, and then you decide to hold on to them because they will burn you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They will burn you. So
you get negative points real quick.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you get good points this week, I don't care how many they give you, you still need to drop them next week because you got to remember we're going against a team that scored 3 touchdowns in 4 games. So that's part of the reason they could have a good game. But for me,
Lambo, I hope I didn't give yours up. So now the floor is yours.
I'm with the crowd on CeeDee Lamb as far as my favorite fantasy person for the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
I think CeeDee Lamb will have a great game. Um, if I'm picking for the Giants, I think Ingram's gonna have a good game in fantasy. And as far as outside of Dallas, I really like Clyde Edwards-Helaire this week. The Las Vegas Raiders have actually been ranked 30th, I believe, or 30. Let me see. Against running backs in fantasy, their defense is 32nd. So,
And that's surprising considering that Marinelli, who everybody wants back as the DC, is the defensive line coach for them.
yeah, 32nd. Yeah, I believe so. Let me double check that, but yeah.
And Alex, I'm with you. It's a division game. They're somewhat motivated. I think the offense may make a couple plays. I think I have them scoring 20 points. So it could be interesting. It could be more than that, but I think they put up a couple points.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't give my fantasy predictions for outside of the Cowboys game.
all right, what you got?
For those of you that got any Seahawks and Vikings players, I think y'all should play them all Sunday night. Personally, like I said, once again, maybe I'm fantasy biased, but I believe Justin Jefferson is going to have a really, really big game Sunday night.
I hope so because
fourth thing.
See, when Jefferson has a good game, it makes Eagles fans a little sick. Just like it does with CeeDee Lamb, because as soon as we took CeeDee Lamb, they were sick, but about 75% of them was like, it's okay, we got Justin Jefferson coming. We got and that's what I thought they was gonna take. And then they passed on Justin Jefferson for Rager, who I like Rager, but I think I like Justin Jefferson better than him. So it's just great if Jefferson blows up and CeeDee Lamb blows up and Eagles fans can just be even more miserable.
Hey, but they got Goddard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On our. But yeah,
I know that.
For me, I think this is a Gallup game. I think Gallup is going to be a every other game type guy. Logan Ryan's 5'9". I think the Giants play a lot of man to man. I can see Gallup making a couple plays on him for some big yardage. I also really like Evan Ingram. I think the Y option is going to really be taking advantage of this game with our safeties and our linebackers. So I would expect Ingram to have maybe 8 catches, 80 yards, probably a touchdown. If they score, I think he's going to have to be the guy to do it unless Slayton gets behind everybody. And Andre actually took mine for off the Dallas team. I'm really high on Robbie Anderson this week. Actually, both of my outside guys are Panthers, which is surprising. The Falcons just announced that their safety is out for the season. And I think one of their starting corners isn't going to play this week. So Robbie Anderson should torch them in the air. And I really like Mike Davis this week too. I think he's going to have another great game.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb or Robbie Anderson. I mean, it's a toss-up, really.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, I just think every other game, Gallup is going to just make a couple big plays. And Mendoza, like you backing up what Jeff just said, Justin Jackson, I actually just picked him up, so I'm interested to see what he does.
Jackson.
Yeah, I read it wrong. Yeah, Justin Jackson.
I picked him up too.
For the Chargers. I'm pretty desperate at running back right now, so I really need to see him play well Monday night. Monday night game, the Saints are kind of reeling. Should be interesting.
He will. Like I told the other guys, I mean, I like Kelly. Kelly's the future. But Kelly's been putting the ball on the ground, and that's one thing coaches are not going to tolerate, so they're going to go with the sure hand. And Justin Jackson is just, I mean, he's not garbage by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, he's a good running back, good solid running back. So I think he's going to get first crack at that while Ekeler's out.
Well, all right, Jeff, we're about to close this thing out, so I'm going to let you go so we can close it out, and you can
Gallup.
Go ahead and enjoy your night.
All right.
All right, well, appreciate you calling again as usual.
I say, as usual, guys, thanks for accepting my call. Listen to it every week. Look forward to the pregame show on Sunday.
All right.
Thanks, Jeff. We'll see you Sunday, man. And Gallup, like you saying, Gallup with a deep threat. Like pretty much, it seems like weekly. That's the thing. It's like you'll see Gallup get like 3 catches for like it'll be like 80 yards, and it's always that deep threat, man. He's I mean, amazing. He's become so elite at high pointing the ball. I believe, I think he's second or third in the NFL in yards and versus one-on-one coverage or something like that. Man. Thanks, Alex. We really appreciate that, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Hey, we look forward to having you back.
Yeah, definitely. And keep bringing these great comments too. We love it when our fans give us great comments like this.
Yeah, it pushes the show for us, man. It really does.
And Lamar, thank you for hitting that bell. Make sure you subscribe to that channel as well and subscribe to the other person's channel. I'm pretty sure you're on Lambo's page, so you're gonna go find me at Bluff City Cowboys and subscribe to mine as well.
BLUFF, Bluff City Cowboys.
All right, one last question. It's not Cowboys related, but it does affect us. Do we think? I guess, how do y'all think how bad do we think Pittsburgh beats Philly?
I think it'll be closer. My opinion, it's going to be closer than we would hope for.
I agree. Yeah.
It might even go in Philly's way and really piss us off.
Please don't say that.
But I'm not going to – I hate them so much that I won't say that's going to happen. I think Pittsburgh wins, but it's going to be close. I really do.
Yeah. The Niners were just decimated with injuries offensively. That's why the Eagles were able to pull that one off. And I got to give my hat off to the Eagles. They play with a lot of heart. I wish we played with the heart they played with our talent.
If they would have had C.J. Beathard in there from the start, I think the Niners win that game.
Easily, yeah.
Mullins was hot ass.
He was, yeah, for sure.
He sucked. But anyway.
But yeah,
Anthony Brown pick 6. Oh, snap. Jeff coming with the bold prediction.
First game back. Hitting them with that pick 6. All right, Lambo, before we get out of here.
Thanks, Alex.
Before we get out of here, thanks, man. We appreciate all the guys' support. If they're giving great comments like you, we definitely want them in here because, again, you guys are what fuel the show. And before we go, Lambo, hit them with that social media.
Be sure to check me out, guys. Facebook.com/Cowboys Y'all. On Twitter, I'm Cowboys Y'all. YouTube, I'm Cowboys Y'all. Patreon, I'm Cowboys Y'all. And on Instagram, you can find me at Cowboys Y'all 88. So please come hit me up and say hey.
All right, guys, you can find me on Facebook, Bluff City Cowboys. You can also find me on Instagram, Bluff City Cowboys. On Twitter, I'm Bluff Cowboys, so make sure you find me on there. And YouTube, I'm still a bunch of letters, numbers, and symbols, but I'm 27 subscribers away from getting my name. So if you have not subscribed to my YouTube, please go on there, hit the subscribe button, get me to 100 so I can change my YouTube name. All right, that's it for the Cowboy Zone. Be sure to join us this Sunday for our pregame show. We're going to give you an hour of power, talking about all the Cowboys news, notes, and injury reports. Lambo, you got any closing words before we get out of here?
Can't wait to see you on the pregame. Make sure to tune in, guys, and we'll see you there.
All right, and we may have a Cowboy Dale sighting, so be on the lookout for that as well.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're ready for our first rivalry week. This is the Cowboy Zone, and we're out.
See y'all later.